I don't seem to be able to slow myself, you use the word self, I say slow my mind down sufficiently to experience and to confirm the isness. I say that is not needed. Even racy mind is also a phenomenon observed in you naturally. You don't have to go anywhere to know. Now the mind is very busy. Mind is busy, and now it says, wow, I must slow the mind down in order to really be aware of myself. That is also thought. It is also a thought that until my mind relaxes, I won't be able to focus on the isness or the self. I put it that is not true. You are already that which observes the playfulness or the restlessness of mind or even body also. We only are clarifying now that you're watching that. The idea that that is necessary in order for you to be what you are, throw out that idea. Throw out this idea that you have to do something to be the isness. Even this idea of a you who need to do something to be the isness is also an idea. May I say like this? Even, you see, normally you will not hear this. We will come as much as saying, yes, if you can stop your mind, if you can control the breath, if you can do, then such and such will be the result. I'm pushing it a step further, and so please, if you can, understand what I'm saying. If I say you can control the breath, if you can slow down the mental activity, then you will discover the self. I put a condition on the self which is not natural for it. And I will also be reinforcing an idea that you are apart from the self, and you would need to do something to become the self. There was a time when myself also believed that, and it felt true. But now I see that is another idea, if believed in, will perpetuate the sense of separation from the self. If the self alone exists, where is the seeker coming from? In what dimension does the seeker exist as a reality to have to travel to meet the self, which is itself infinite? What happens is that we are so accustomed to our identity shaped in the mind that even though this may make some kind of sense to you, your dynamic perception feels more true as the position of the seeker that needs to accomplish something than of the self, which is really what you are. So we'll have to keep on speaking as though there is something to do, there's a gap to close, there's something to become. Because that is the language that the mind person will insist on using. Because to say, but you are the self, it will go, yes, I know. But it will not confirm, of course it is true. So it has to be proven. And this I hope that we can do together. The fact already is, no one can perfect the self. In fact, nobody can reach the self. This may seem an unusual pointer or teaching, because we are universally convinced that we are separate from the God self, from the pure consciousness, and we must do some work, some sadhana, to close the gap, if even to merge with that. So this is the common belief held by most beings for a while. I say for a while because we will move on from that. Any sincere seeker will come to a point when that will not be sufficient, it will not be satisfying, and a natural urge to go further will come like that. So again, the thought comes that my mind is too fast. It's just always, some tsunami is happening inside my head, and I just have to wait until that settles down, and then I can pick up my sadhana again to see if I can get to the self. But all of these together are thought. The trouble is, what I say you will not immediately accept, because it will not feel experientially true. The habit is to believe, yes, but I still help me to get to that, because you are convinced of your reality as the seeker and separated from your goal. You see? So I'm pushing the game up to that kind of intensity, because here you will get today's result. Otherwise, I am promoting a journey that may take, we don't know how long. We don't know how long we have been on the road of seeking also. Now it has become clear what is the misunderstanding. What is it that creates this sense that even we are under some spell? Why we can't get it? Because the we that, or the I that you think you are, itself promotes separation. The self that you are is more real than your present idea of yourself. Any change is not going to take place in the pure self, but to the non-self or the false self. Not that we have an idea that the false self must grow towards the pure self. In another way of looking, you can say the false self must continue thinning away, disappearing, until when it finally disappears, all that's left is the real self. The real self has not made any journey at all. But I concede, whatever way we perceive it, the important thing is that something is changing. Either if you feel I'm getting closer and closer to the self, does it have value? Yes, it has experiential value. It means that whatever concepts we have been embracing that has become a kind of obstacle, they are thinning away, and you're experiencing more the pure, the vastness. All of this is becoming much more natural for you. I need to take the time to explain this again, so that now when we come back to your question, which is, my mind is too restless. My mind is too restless, and many people ask, please bless me, please help me to have a calm mind. But I'm telling you mind bypass. That the mind itself, if you believe, yes, because my mind is like that, I'm distanced from the self, that thought has won over you. One thing, if I can take the risk of saying now, when we say the mind is blocking you from realizing the self, yes, I say the mind is your thought and your belief. May I say something else? That you who believe in the mind also is a mixture of something false and something true. I don't know if it is too early to be speaking like that. I say this because to say this brings a kind of ouch. Because something is protecting and preserving the identity of a seeker. God is playing all these roles and all these stages of belief in the journey of self-discovery. And it is a wise game, and it is quite fair, actually. But I don't want to go too far into that right now. I would prefer that the seeing becomes so clear that the false cannot be found anymore. So back to you, my mind is too loud and seems to get in the way of my focus. But that is also seen. That is also seen. Suppose your entire body form was full of noise. You are also the witness of that. But here is the real mischief. When that is believed to hide the self, which is infinite, and is there also more pronounced in the one who says, even the mind is so noisy right now, and knows that that makes no difference to what I am. But we will have to confirm, and it will have to be experienced in such a clear way that you are the self. You're not believing you are the self that you come to see, but I can only be this. Everything else is only apparent, and everything that is apparent is watched by me. The belief that my mind is so restless right now that, I'm not able to go further, believed in, creates the sense of an obstacle. It is not true, but if it is believed in, it will become true for you experientially. That is how thoughts work. A thought without belief has no power. A thought with belief can start a war or heal a nation's pain even. Belief is the operational factor here. You see, we are believing what we are conceiving also. Meaning that now presently you're feeling, yes, my mind, if I just need to slow my mind down, and you may even take up a practice to slow your mind down so that you can continue your sadhana and your journey towards the self, which is all imagined. I am starting, you are the self. I don't expect that by saying that it will be enough for you, but I am going to state the fact from the beginning. And then I'm going to set about to prove it for you. Otherwise, we are searching in the dark from which concept and this thing and so on. My way is direct, and it will cut the journey short. Because the more we start to work with the mind will keep pushing up new concepts, new directions, and so on. And we are habituated to believe in these things, you see. So because I cut it, then sometimes what may happen is that it may produce within you some frustration. The seeker will feel frustration, which is also observable, by the way.